them go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen.
And we are here. Now, do you know that you're fully so?
A lot of do you knows for 2022, Helen.
Starting on a very philosophical.
Yes.
Yes.
Tough questions.
Good.
And absolutely important reminders there, Helen. Most critical as we reflect on our successes and, you know, all of the things, joy and sadness in the year just ended.
And today, just a few days after, we're saying Happy New Year. So, on behalf of the team from...
And congratulations and welcome to the program. I am John Sanaya.
And it's our very first edition of your Family Focus program. It's called Today with John and Helen on PlusTvAfrica. And always, I'm Helen Ongmaodeleye, and I'm over the moon that we are here together this morning on the show. A very Happy New Year to you all again.
So, Helen, what was your 2021 like? Maybe I should...
And the conversation, plus our guests, we will assure you, will help us with some tips, you know, to take us through the new year, get us to a better place, and help us to make more impact and to be better people in 2022.
Yes, and well, Helen, I must say that I am sure, I have a feeling, right, that this is a conversation that you cannot and must not miss. So stay with us from start to finish. We'll take a break now. Don't you go away.
Like I said, what can far? I want to forget what to take soon. I can tell, one la, you don't know day at the 5 and 6. Now why they dance at the vibe like this? Oh, I be me why you high like this? Money no man, that kind thing. Got this shit, what bellu dance but you don't need fantastic. Ibadun to bolo, anile, oh, boni sakani. Acting me, yeah, bo, one la, bari. Atunjade don wala tiyara. Atimeye bo wala tibari. Atunjade don wala tiyara.
Okay, we went searching for them because today is a very special day. We have two phenomenal guests who will help us navigate through the show today as we take a look at our 2021 learnings. A quick postmortem if you like, and you will also take away tips for the new year.
Yes, we'll take away tips for the new year. While the renowned relationship experts and motivational speaker and wealth creation agent, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, helps us look at our weaknesses and strengths in the last year, Pharaoh Shonuga will be joined by Yewande Adeusi to prioritize what lessons we've learned from 2021.
Exactly, John. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is you now on this in the spotlight.
Yes.
Okay.
Hot seat. Too.
Hot seat on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell
Yes.
me. You asked me that time. I gave you a very, an answer that wasn't verbalized. But it had a lot of weight.
Yes.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm making it easy for you. Score yourself now.
I'll also give you
Oh no, that's not acceptable.
But frankly, Helen, yesterday it was kind of topsy-turvy, up and down, then, but at the end of it all, they say that, of this, we should always give thanks to God. So I appreciate God for everything that's happened. Everything for me has been a learning curve.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
If I didn't learn how to do it, now I learn how not to do it.
Wow, guys. Very, very articulate, very intelligent,
yeah.
very professional in all of the areas that we have, brought up as topics and focus as we, attempt every week to get the family prepared for a better and wholesome life, in all areas. And the guest, after each production, I'm like, okay. But you will ask me, how much of it did I put into practice?
So how much of it did you put into practice?
Not very much. Because distractions of life.
Okay.
You want to do something and you get to do the almost opposite. You don't find the time, you don't find the presence of mind.
Focus.
Yes. And I hope that the common sense expert, who has been doing this job for a long time, will be able to help me, achieve when I leave a show, when I get very important critical information,
how to move on to the next step. Not bad at all.
Thank you.
After all said and done,
Here
we are in 2022 with the opportunity and
with over 30 decades or 3 decades transforming lives. January 1st, very special transformation. I am extra excited. I haven't seen him in a long while.
Yes.
It's such a pleasure that he could say yes to our invitation. Please join me to welcome Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, commonly known as
the Common Sense Guru.
Common Sense Guru.
Yeah.
Good morning. And thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
It's a joy to see you again, even though it's virtual. It's a joy to be on your show.
Thank you.
I want to thank John and Ellen for having me. Well, it's a new year and it's a good way to start the year.
Thank you. I've seen you on a couple of shows and I'm like, no, this is my friend now. What? He's doing so much with other people. He should come help us here. So what, in your opinion, will be the defining landmarks? We're looking at 2021 in our nation's progress in the year just rounded off.
Well, I think that people did not even know how to plan because you weren't too sure. Because all your plans of 2020 were messed up with the uncertainties that met all of us. So for me, I think 2021 was a continuation of 2020 in the sense that it shows us that we don't have control over life. Wow. That we don't have control over life. We don't have control over everything. So we should focus on trying to make the most of what we can control. And for those things that we cannot control, we should gain wisdom on how to navigate them when they come. So that's one lesson I believe people must have learned. Another thing that the equation of your life. And if you have not come into that place of taking personal responsibility to ensure that you turn out the way you want and you are the best version of yourself, then you have no one but yourself to blame. Because look at what's happening in our country today. It's very evident that the government is confused. Economists are confused, scientists are confused, almost every thought leader and all the people that you think are supposed to guide you are all confused and they are just groping in darkness. So it means that whether you like it or not, you have to take personal responsibility for your life and ensure that you are ready to pay the price to make the most of your life. For instance, We have entered into a new year now, and everybody's saying Happy New Year. But the question is it really happy? What is happy about the new year? The new year is just the date. Yesterday was 2021, but today now is 2022. What changed? Nothing but a date on the calendar. By the time we were saying Happy New Year earlier this morning, Australia has said Happy New Year 10 hours before us. By the time we said Happy New Year, America was still 6 to 8 hours behind us waiting for the new year. So the new year is nothing but a date. The new year is nothing but a change in the calendar. So the question then will be, what will make a new year happy? So when you enter 2021, it was the same. So if you are 42 years old, you have probably had 42 Happy New Year. But where your life was there any happiness? Because the only constants in the life of any individual is you. Jeez. So whether it was Happy New Year or this New Year, you are the only constant. So you are the major factor. So if there is going to be any change, you have to make sure that you take responsibility for you. Because if you keep expecting somebody to do something, oh, it's because the president didn't do this, it's because the governor didn't do this. That's the excuse that you have given, that people will continue to give. But there is one person you must take, serious, and that is you. So for me, I think the lesson that everybody should have learned is, number one, you don't have control over everything in life. So the ones you can control. But number two, you are the most important factor in the equation of your life, and you need to take yourself serious and do what needs to be done.
Wow. Now I see why they say that common sense is not common.
Not at all.
That makes a lot of sense to us,
Yes.
Doctor. Now you said something about COVID. Yes. The world at large, has had to submit itself to the severe stranglehold of COVID in the last going to 2 years, and the pandemic.
In 2020, you remember that the head of the task force had said that he did not know that the health situation and the health facility of Nigeria was as bad as he realized. Now, if the head of the task force said that in the middle of 2020, and we are now in 2022, the question is, has anything changed? In the midst of that lockdown, we remember how that we realized that the health workers are very, very major assets in our country. And last year, they still had to go on strike to be paid. If they still had to go on strike to be paid after lockdown and after COVID, it shows you that we are not ready. We are just joking. So as far as I'm concerned, we have not done the best that we can do, and we have not done the best that we could do. For instance, look at the issue of vaccine. Why couldn't we have come up with our own vaccine by now? Why do we have to? Do you remember in the midst of the lockdown, everybody was saying, oh, will the let scientists do this? Now, almost 2 years later, no vaccine from Nigeria. We are still waiting for somebody to give us vaccine. We are still waiting for somebody to donate. It just in the country and the most revered people, because the lecturers and the teachers are the ones that train everybody. The doctors are the ones that bet us and keep us alive. But if you see the way they are treating teachers and they are treating doctors, and they have to go on strike and fight to get what belongs to them, it shows you where we are. So we have not really done well. And secondly, because we keep looking to the West to give us a guide on how to proceed, instead of coming up with our own unique solution, we end up becoming a pawn in the profit-making strategy of capitalists. You remember that when COVID started, they said, oh, the Africa will die, everybody will die. We went into lockdown, not because lockdown was our own solution, but because that's what they postulated to us. We went into lockdown because they kept telling us, oh, lock everybody down. We are forgetting that those that were locking down, they had a system and a structure in place that lockdown or no lockdown, there were things in place that will help people to survive. Yeah. Nigeria does not have a database. I don't know whether you are a Nigerian or a Nigerian or a Liberian. I don't know who is a Nigerian. We have national ID card, we have international passport, we have driving license, we have BVN, we have telecom ID, everything, yet we don't have a national identity. Now they are saying collect vaccine, as there is all kinds of confusion. But the countries that were locking down, they had the database of their but because we keep waiting for people to tell us, oh, we carry their vocabulary, we carry their jargon, we carry their error. And now the capitalists are now making money. COVID has become a major money-making venture now. And that's why some people are deciding to fight against vaccine. I don't believe people should fight against vaccine, but it's becoming a money. Do you try to travel? Do you know that to travel now, you need to spend about 200,000 on COVID, even to go to ordinary Ghana to travel. So it's not money making. Even when you have vaccine, those that Ramaphosa was vaccinated, he had the booster shot, he still caught COVID. So the vaccine is not the solution to COVID. It's just to help all of us. But it's not a money-making venture.
Okay, we'll have to interrupt you at this point because I see that Helen has been raising her hand.
You know, you started so well by saying this is the beginning of a new year and that our lives really, you know, and our fate is in our hands. If that wasn't a fact, I would be downcast, you know, looking back at what happened last year and where we are as a people, as a nation. But then, in all of this confusion and the failures, you know, the power lies in my hand. So I'm houses and all of it. And family is almost broken down. We have looked at various factors that affect and disintegrate families, as well as the factors that can, you know, unite the family. And so at this point, how much of a bash would you say that the family has taken as a unit in its attempt to adjust to the rapidly changing trends in lifestyle, globally, and, can I say locally?
And locally. We are in a global village now, so we are all interconnected. Both global and local is glocal now.
Okay.
Well, the family has been so it. I remember when COVID hit Nigeria and we had to go into lockdown, and everybody was talking about, it's a health pandemic. Few things that came to my mind is that this is not just going to be a health pandemic. It's also going to be a spiritual pandemic. It's going to be a relational pandemic. And it's also going to be a financial pandemic. And when we look back now, we'll see that that's what has happened. You don't have an idea of how many marriages broke in 2020 as a result of the lockdown, because a lot of people have used busyness to manage their marriage. So husband is busy, wife is busy, but they were never the ability to seek help. 2021 was now a year of realigning themselves, reorganizing their family to move forward. But for those that did not want to seek help, 2021 showed a lot of disintegration. So the family had been badly hit, because whether we like it or not, money plays a major role in family. When we talk about the causes of family crisis, the top 5 reasons of family crisis are communication, sex, money, third parties, that's in-laws and outlaws, and then unrealistic expectation. So in the top 3, we have communication, sex, and money. So money is part of the major reasons why family have issues, and because there's no romance without finance. And you find out that because of the economic hardship that has come in since 2016, we have been in and out of recession. And a lot of people are they're in dire strait. And when there is no money, survival becomes the major focus of people. And when people are at the survival level of life, they go down to their base animalistic instinct. And that's why we have seen armed robbery, kidnapping, family domestic abuse, yahoo, and young people going into drugs and all kinds of things because of poverty. Because a lot of people are trying to see how they can survive. So parents are trying to do all kinds. People are trying whatever they need to do to make money to just survive. And that has been a major problem. So for me, the family has been greatly hit. Family value is so low. We have cultism both in secondary school, in the university, even in primary school now, there's cultism. Yahoo is as low as 10-year, 12-year-old, already involved in all kinds of scams. So things are bad, but it's not hopeless. It's just for us to acknowledge that things are bad, but to realize that things can be better and take responsibility for our part in what has gone wrong, and then now take responsibility for doing what needs to be done to change it. Yes. A wise man once said, you cannot solve a problem at the same level of intelligence you were in when you created the problem. So we need to become a new person, have new mindset, new approach, and then we'll see newness coming out of that same situation, because dry bones can live again.
Yes, doctor. And in fact, what you're insinuating, or in fact, what you've affirmed now, is that the family unit is fast becoming a misnomer. As members of the family now head in different directions in search of all manner of, survival things. So it it leads one to want to ask the question that don't you think that we're going to have like a permanent shift shift in the way families used to be, to what we need to be now, because the dynamics have changed.
Yes, we do. You see, one of the challenges we have is the fact that we live in a changing world, but we refuse to change. Change is the only constant in the world that we live in. Many of us grew up under parents that were of one generation, and the way they raised us is different from the way we should raise our own children. But because we did not know better, we were raised mostly in a disciplinary structure. This is the way it must be. Whatever I say goes, because I said so generation. And then we grew up raising children that are growing up in a different generation. And we want to raise them the way we were raised. And now there is a lot of crisis between parents and children. When we were growing up, our parents wanted us to be engineers, doctors, and lawyers. Why? Because they wanted their children to have a career that gives them a prefix. So my child is a doctor, engineer, barrister. But when many of us now started growing up to say we want to be footballers, we want to be actors and actresses, it was like, hey, who did this to me? But now we have now come into that place where we realize that there are so many careers that are springing up that our parents were not aware of. But unfortunately, we are repeating the same mistake, because now our children are saying they don't want to go to school. They want to do coding. They want to become a graphic artist. And you are telling me, graphic what? Are you all right? Which one is that one? As at 5 years ago, to be a drone pilot was not a career. Now it's a career. Yeah. As at 5 years ago, to be a social media manager was not a career. To be a social media influencer was not a career. That's now a career. Many of the careers we grew up with are expiring. To be a doctor now, you're on your way out, because technology is replacing. We don't need medical doctors anymore. To be a lawyer, you're on your way out. So many of the careers that exist today, they are 21st century dinosaurs. And now, instead of preparing our children for the future, we are preparing them for our own world that is expiring. So it's becoming a crisis. So we as parents need to realize that the world we grew up in does not exist anymore. And trying to prepare our children for an expired world is not wise. We should be preparing our children to solve tomorrow's problem and not to solve today's problem. And that's what we need to know. So the family has changed. We now have Generation Z and we have Generation Alpha. And now Gen Z are the teenagers and the young adults of today. Generation Alpha are the people that were born just 11 years ago. So anyone that was born 11 years ago, they are Generation Alpha. Now listen, Generation Alpha does not understand the real world. The world they understand is online. So the online world is their own real world. But many of us that gave birth to them, we don't even have Facebook account. We don't even understand technology. So when they are on the phone and they are doing things on the phone, we think they are unserious. We think they are not concerned. We think you are very unserious. All you do is phone. All you do is iPad. But that is their world. Yeah. That's their newspaper.
You know what, doctor?
Yeah.
You know what, doctor?
Yeah, no one.
Can I interrupt? Can I just interrupt you at that point? Because I want to know what generation Helen belongs to. Helen, are you which?
Why would you interrupt, doctor, to ask me what generation I belong? Why must you?
You are all baby boomers. You are not even. You are in the 60s and 70s children. You are not even accepted in this equation.
Wow, some true and some facts coming out here on the show. It's today with John and Helen on Plus TV, and we have the common sense guru. So could you quickly give us a sense of what we should expect in the months leading up to the nation's next election?
On the role of personal and political leadership in the economic empowerment of individuals. So I've come to a place where I know that if you are going to ever make it in any aspect of life, your personal leadership and political leadership plays a role, but it begins with you. National transformation is a function of visionary leadership and engage. Do you have your PVC? Many people that are talking and making noise about Nigeria, they don't even have PVC. You can't vote. So what is all this? INEC does not count prayer points. INEC does not count Instagram like and Facebook followership. Those are not what INEC will count. So you can go to church from today to tomorrow, mountain to mountain, and pray all the prayer you want to pray. You are just fooling yourself, because that does not equate to votes. So everybody should get their PVC, and everybody should join a political party and start doing what they can do. We don't need to start a new one. As at today, there is no political party in Nigeria that has any serious ideology. APC is not the answer. PDP is not the answer. They are all the same. But if new set of people go into these parties and begin to play our part, we can begin to change it from inside. If you like, start any political party. It will take another 20 years for you to catch up with the machinery that has been built for 22 years. So all these APC and PDP machineries, they are a combination of 20 years machinery, because it's the same people jumping from one place to the other, restructuring. So you need to look for which one to join, because none of them is better. So you don't say this one, none of they are all the same. But you cannot change things from outside by making noise on television or on social media. So everybody get your PVC, join the political party. If APC has 50,000 members and 100,000 new people with new ideology join them, we can wipe out the 50,000 members within 2 years by changing the ideology from inside. If PDP has 50,000 members and 100,000 new people join them from outside, we can change it from within. So to stay outside and be making noise, we are fooling ourselves. So the solution is take personal responsibility. In your local government, in your CDA, take responsibility. In landlord association, in your school association, in your fellowship, everybody take it, because politics is local. It starts from the local government, from your street, landlord association. Do you pay for the gates? When they pay for gate for security, do you pay? Well, even if you live in face me and face you, they say everybody should pay for 500 naira for the cleaner. Do you pay? So from that face me and face you association to landlord association to CDA to different club, that's where it starts. So when everything changes from the grassroots, before you know it, the national is nothing but a combination.
That doesn't count prayer points. So I must admit that this is real good stuff, you know, and it's the best way for us to start the new year, if you ask me, because we have to.
Sure, John.
The things, the points that Dr. Emmanuel just talked about. Awesome. You know.
Totally, I agree with you, John. And we have more coming from our guests after the break. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is still with us when we come back from this short break. Please stay with us.
Yeah. Okay. So, Doctor.
I miss them.
Well, they should be on their way by now.
Will it feel like it used to? With everyone so busy these days.
It will be fine.
Suddenly, feels like I'm gonna fall. I can see all of my dreams so perfectly.
Oh, yeah, line Single file.
Love's not a dream at all. Somebody.
Grandpa, what was Grandma like?
She always found ways to bring us all together. It took me a while to discover how she does it.
Devon Kings, taste that brings us all together.
All right, welcome back. New edition of Today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel has been with us from the beginning of the show, and we are almost out of time.
Yes.
And we can't let Doctor go without giving us like 5 very quickly or 10 must-do things and factors that we must consider and put into practice on a daily basis, 2022, to make sure that at the end of this year, or maybe the first quarter, we can say we're better people and we're impacting our world better.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know if I can do 10 because the time is gone.
So let's do 5.
So, number 1, become a new you. A new year without a new you will produce old results. So become a new you, become a new version of yourself. And in order for that to happen, number 2, examine yourself critically. Self-examination, know all the things that has gone wrong. Then number 3 will be set new goals. You now need to set new goals for yourself. So, okay, this new year, I want to be a better person, better husband, better father, better parent, better this, a better citizen, a better. So you now set those goals, and then you begin to examine and establish those goals. Then you need to now do new things. You cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. So if you want to experience new things, if you want to experience a new year, then you have to do new things. So do new things. And as you begin to do new things, you begin to see how that the year will be good. And finally, in all that you do, ensure that you play your part. No one will play your part on your behalf. Play your part in ensuring that that which you expect to see, you play your part to see it. Don't give excuses expecting somebody to do for you what you should be doing for yourself. And once you play your part, it's only a matter of time you will get a good result. So I believe that everyone listening to me today, as you have crossed into 2022, this year it will be all-around growth. And at the end of the year, you will look back and be grateful because this year will be bigger, brighter, and better. So Happy New Year to you all.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year, Dr.
Thank you, and I say amen to
Emmanuel.
that.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year to you, sir.
John.
Health is a must in 2022.
Let's take that break.
And welcome to the fitness section of today's show. I'm Dolly Phillips at Alpha Fitness Studios in Lekki Phase 1. Now, today, as you can see, I'm on the floor. So, and you need a dining room chair as well. So grab one real quick and let's get to our workout. What are we doing? Legs under the chair. Let's start with our warm-up. Deep breath in and out. And in and out. 2 more, in and out. Last one, in and out. Let's reach up and over. 1, up and over. 2, good. Up and over. 3, last one, up and over. 4, stretch the side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's start. So, first workout, you're going to lie down. I'm lying down here. I'm going to bring my foot up and down, alternating. And your time starts now. Let's go. And up. That's 1. Change legs. Up and 1. Now we're focusing on those lower abs. Yes, that really hard to reach part of the stomach that just doesn't want to budge. That's what we're working on today. That's the major focus for today's workout. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. Now, legs outside the chair. We're going to clap above. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And up. Now, if you need to keep your knees bent, that's absolutely fine. Your focus should be to keep your lower back in the ground. So tilt your pelvis forward and keep that back on the floor. Ooh, you can feel the burn with this one. 3 more seconds. 2 and 1. Back to the first one. Both legs underneath that chair. We're sending it above the chair now. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And up. Good. Alternate. And up. Now pull that knee into the chest. Yeah, so you really get those quads working as well. Keep going. This is fun. I like this one. We're lying down after all. 4 more seconds. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and time. In and out on the side. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And out. And out. Pull those knees to the chest. That is super important. Come on. And out. And in. And out. And in. That's it. Keep going. No time. Go. That's it. 3, 2, 1. One leg above, one leg below. We're working. In 3, 2, 1. Let's swap over. This is hardcore. In. Don't kick that chair over. Come on. Make it work. That's it. Let's go. Ay, ay, ay. You can feel this one. If you want to intensify that workout, look at your legs at what they're doing. Yes. And rest it. Okay, from here, I'm going to send my legs over and back down to the floor. Ready? Let's go. No need to straighten your legs. Keep it bent. And down. Good. And over. And down. And over. And down. Teasing that stool as though you're going to drop your legs, but you're not. And down. Take it over. Awesome. Quickly, one more. And time. Now we're doing the opposite. We're sending it down now. You ready? In 3, 2, 1. Both legs through. In and to the chest. That's it. In and to the chest. Ooh, this one. Really hitting those lower abs right there. Come on. In and to the chest. Don't stop. Try your best. If you want to make it harder, look at your legs. Don't let your feet touch the floor. One more. And time. Knees to the chest. And relax. Last one. Let's go. Over. We're only going to do 5 of these here. 2. Come on, one more. 3. 2 more, I lied. 4. Last one now. And 5. Hold it there and stretch. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull one leg out. Yes, keep one down there. And reach to the side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Repeat the same on the other side. Let's go. 3. Come on. 2. And 1. And relax. Side stretch. Other side. Deep breath in and out. Last one, in and out. Wow, that was awesome. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the barbing, I pay my rent. On the barbing, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
I will do everything to take Lagos out of the national grid.
Happy New Year, everyone. My prayer for us all is that we gain clarity from God on what our purpose on this earth is and how He wants us to make impact. We stay healthy physically and emotionally. We achieve beyond our expectations and we find peace, love, fulfillment. 2021. Then we'll attempt to recommend how we should prioritize these learnings so we don't get bogged down and stuck trying to chart what we want our 2022 to look like. And as some of you may already know, my guest today is Yewande Adewusi. Yewande Adewusi is the Regional Director, Africa for BBC Global News. She has had an extensive career in financial services and a wealth of experience in strategy, marketing, and business development, having previously worked for major brands such as Airtel, Afina, UBA, and Pfizer. She is also a non-executive director with Tangerine Money. And more importantly, she's one of my trusted friends and sounding boards on all areas of my life. So she's actually quite perfect for this topic. Welcome, Yewande. It really is nice to have you here today. So, let's delve right in. What are your top 3 learnings for 2021?
2021, 3 key things I've learned is that we are more resilient than we think we are. Mm-hmm. 2, we are social beings, and social interaction is very important. Okay. So adding another year of locking down was not going to really happen for any of us properly.
Very true.
And lastly, I know it's a buzzword, but self-care is so important. The power of saying no and just prioritizing yourself is so important.
Very, very true, mm-hmm. because you cannot give from an empty barrel.
That's right. That's right.
So it really is very important. So we're social beings, and that has become more heightened because COVID meant that we had to stay indoors, and we now realize that we actually need that. We feed off that interaction.
Definitely.
And then self-care, again, COVID has helped us understand how important self-care is. And again, the resilience, I'm assuming, is connected to the whole COVID
You can get
thing.
things done. The things you'd say, I can't do this because I can't travel. Like my job, Regional Director Africa, mm-hmm. you'd think I'd be traveling all over the place. Mm-hmm. COVID, I couldn't do it. Am I going to say I'm not going to get my work done? No, you've got to get it done. Children have to go to school. Oh, there's no, they're locked down. Are they not going to get educations? They're going to get educations. They figured it out. We, as parents, figured it out. Teachers figured it out. True. And so we just can do a lot more with, I don't want to say a lot less, but just in the restrictions. Mm. So you can just either decide it's going to completely bog you down, mm-hmm. or you're just going to say, we move. And that's my new mantra as well. 2021, that became my hashtag. Every time my team, my family, anything's going on, okay, we move.
Yeah,
and we keep
very,
going.
very true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people's hashtag was we move.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, we're resilient. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of every new year, everybody has New Year's resolutions. Yeah. So I'd like to understand, is there a correlation between New Year's resolutions and learnings?
For me, I decided to stop this whole thing of New Year's resolutions. I decided to think about how what I'm going to do in the year aligns with my purpose, or around the different facets of the purpose. So, I think that's what we need to be doing. If you're not feeling healthy, as much as we say, oh, we're going to lose weight this year and everything else, it's about staying healthy. When your bones, we're in we won't say how old we are these days, but you know, these days it's not like before I'm going to a party and I'm going to not eat and then I'll be slim for the party. No, it's going to take more than that. So you just find that you'll lose the weight and you'll gain it back, and it's not even a problem. Don't even hold yourself on that. But it's all about those goals. I want to be healthy. I'm doing it because I need to be healthy, or it's vanity. When I'm slim, it makes me more confident. So you need to own those type of things. Personally, I think definitely reflect on what happened and how it aligns with where you're going in all facets of your life. Some things you need to drop, some things you won't achieve, and that. So I think it's about not beating yourself up, but just rejigging. What did I achieve? Where are the gaps? What are the resources I need to fill those gaps? Because you can't achieve goals without certain resources. We all think that it's either time resources, money resources, support. Resources. I'm like, when I don't have things structured, there's no way I'm achieving my goals. So the first thing I have, once I have my family sorted, because you have things that are very important to you. My family must not drop, those type of things, and my children and my husband. So it's like, once I have structure there, I can go on with other things like my career, hanging out with my friends and all that. My friends are my backbone as well. And so it's like, when I drop them, there's certain people that won't drop, but you can pick up the phone and you can quickly do what you got to do, and then you feel supported. And also just rejigging friendship circles. So you know me, I've got a lot of them, but they all have their purpose in my life. So when someone is not aligning with where I need to go in this priority in this moment, then I just put them down. I love you still. 100%. But it's not working for me right now, and I can't deal with you right now, and we just need to keep it moving, and then I'll pick you up. We'll pick each other up, actually.
Exactly.
It's not me picking you up, we're picking each other up.
And it's understanding, like you said, understanding what your purpose is. Like I said at the beginning, when I hope everybody heard my prayer, because for me it's really important for us to set the tone. And one of the things that's most important is understanding purpose. And like you said, you have to make sure you know your purpose and align your learnings or your resolution to what your purpose is. And that actually takes me to the next question, which is, are all learnings relevant?
I think all learnings are relevant, because
How
if
so?
you don't want a situation where you ignore experience that again. There's certain things that I don't want to experience, not in the worst. I don't even want that might happen to my enemy. So you have to, what did you do? What path did you take? What choices did you make? What decisions did you take that led to that experience? So you must reflect on those things, I think. Not hold on to them. Don't beat yourself up. Just say,
that's where I was going to go to.
I don't want it to happen again. So what did I do? What choices did I make that led to that outcome?
How do you then, so you've said all learnings are relevant because they help you determine what to do next and how to rejig if you need to. But how do I separate them and decide where they all fit?
Because the priorities are aligned to your ultimate goal.
Which is your purpose.
Which is your purpose. So when anything that's happening does not align with that, drop it. It's not, it's an experience. We must have experiences. But how does it help you in the journey to your purpose and your goal? If it is taking you, distracting you, it is making you feel unhappy. I mean, I know we all talk about these days, I don't feel happy, I'm not happy. But if it does make you feel unhappy and therefore you are less productive, you need to drop it. It's a bit like, we all say, I do anyway, I have social media timeouts. I need to purge, I'm not going to post, I'm not going to show any pictures, I'm not doing anything. It's because it's distracting me from my purpose. So those type of things, I know it seems very, or sometimes you're like, alone time. People don't understand the value of it. I'm not saying the COVID type isolation time. I mean just having time.
Deliberately choose
to
be
step
alone.
away and just have some me time to reflect on you one day. And people don't understand the value of that. It's so important. It's so important.
No, I totally understand what you mean, because for me, with a lot of the things, 2021 has been a very interesting year for me. And I've had lots of... Today, I removed the Instagram app from my main home screen.
it's still in my, you know, when you go into the main home screen and you have all the different apps, it's still there. But in my line of sight, I took it out because I realized that when I wake up, the first thing I do is go into WhatsApp and then immediately go into Instagram. And then I see everybody's messages of goodwill and, you know, all the wonderful achievements they've had in 2021. And then I begin to feel a bit down in the dumps. And I'm like, it's not productive. So just remove it.
I mean, if it's distracting you and it makes you feel, you know, sometimes hearing other people's progress can inspire you.
Yes,
and
it can, for
sometimes
sure.
it can make you feel inadequate. So if it's making you feel inadequate or whatever, like I said, it's not that you won't come back to it. You just need a break from it.
Yeah.
And then maybe next week you'll be oh my God, she got that promotion. Oh, that's fantastic. How did you, and you call her up. How did you do it? What did you do? What sort of skills do I need to add? Who did you talk to? How did you talk to them? You know, and then you'll be ready. But sometimes you're just not ready for that.
True.
And it just makes you feel, oh, I should be here. And that's another thing of that you need to walk your own race and face your lane, as we always say. Because if you're constantly comparing, you know, and again, God's purpose is your individual purpose for you.
Yeah.
So he might say you're going to do this when you're 55, or someone's going to do it at 25. And that's why I have different circles around me as well. I have my egg bonds, like we say, and I have my aburas, and I have my mates. So you can just be seeing, because there's certain things that the younger ones have done we wouldn't do, because that's not how, in our time, we didn't do things like that.
Yeah.
But I'm inspired by them.
Yes, of course.
I don't want to take it as a negative in terms of, I should have done this when I was 25. I'm not 25, and I can't go back there. So what do I need to do to just keep it moving and keep moving forward? So that's the thing with social media sometimes, when it's, you know, I unfriend people. And just have, you know, I won't see you for a minute.
True.
But I'll bring you back because I'll miss you, because I'm like, oh, their posts are so good and I want to see it. So I'll put it back. But, you know, it's about seasons. And it's just with what we're finding now with 2020, 2021, the seasons are shorter. It could be a week. It could be a day that I just need not to have that. And then I come back and I'm like, what was I feeling like last week? And you're fine. So just understanding it's not winter, summer, spring, which are quarters. The season could be as much as a few hours that you just need a minute to just, what has helped me move from 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers. And then just take those pillars I told you about. So you have to keep looking at the big different facets of your life. Family, career, you know, either your business or whatever, and your self-care. And where are you on all of that?
What if you're not the type of person who is very, because whilst it sounds practical, not everybody is analytical. And people process differently. So how does somebody who's not necessarily as analytical begin to develop these techniques and strategies?
I think what we also learned in this whole season of being locked down is that even if I'm not analytical, there's so many tools out there now that are making us a bit more. I can do this short course that tells me how to be a bit more reflective. It's not detailed or anything like that. It's just listening to podcasts. I'm a podcaster now. When I go on my walks, Father Lord, that's my thing. And I'm learning from other people's journeys. So that's another way to do it. Just, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. And that's once you take that as your thing, you can learn from anybody. So what I find is that just listening to someone's life story, reading biographies, things like that, you're just seeing that, oh, I could have done it this way, or maybe I haven't even gotten there, this is where I should. So you don't have to be analytical per se. You just need to know that I need source of information because I can't know it all. Or you speak to people, your network. That's another thing that changed for me last year. In terms of I have a circle that, and they know who they are, that if I'm acting the fool, whether I'm doing self-doubt or getting a bit too cocky, they just rein me in. And it's just like, oh, thanks for that. I really needed that little slap. So, or that pat on the back, or a shoulder to cry on. So your people around you as well can help you through that process. And you have to be willing to receive it as well. Because some people aren't willing. They're like, oh, I'm doing the most. And everybody around them is like, no, you're not. But I'm definitely like, please tell me when I'm slacking or when
I'm like that as well. I always say to people that I love feedback, you know, and I don't have a problem with it. I may not like what I hear, but I will go away and reflect on it, because, you know.
It's the reflection. When you said analyzing, it's actually a point of reflection. However you're doing it, whether it's with yourself and your little notebook, with what people have said to you, your interactions. And I also find relationships, a friend always said, I just want to have meaningful relationships. I didn't understand it when they were saying it, but I get it now. That, and the different seasons are different relationships for different things. You have your work relationships. I have a friend in New York. She's my career person that calls me up and says, what are you doing? She needs to be doing, and when she's talking, somebody says, am I not doing a good, but she'll really hammer on that. And then I have a friend who's very much about family, and she'll talk, we should be doing this for the kids, we should be doing that for the kids. And they have the people that work with you in terms of how to maneuver office politics and all of that. And then in terms of personal growth, in terms of, everybody knows me, my spas, my nails, that's my time. My children know, mom's going to do, we can't follow her to do that. No. You know, that type of thing. Because that's my time. That's me time. And I'm like, I'm gone. And maybe they might see me 4 hours later after the nails, after the massage, after everything. Because that's what I need. So having that, and that all, and my time with my friends to go for dinner. Right? Oh, we're going for dinner. You know me. It's like, let's go for dinner. You have a good banter, mature banter, where you can just pretend, I don't have a career, I don't have children, I don't have a house, I don't have responsibilities for a couple of hours. I'm just with my friends and I'm just enjoying myself. We might be talking about those issues, but it's like right now we're with ourselves as a group of friends. So you just have to
be able to just manage everything in a different place. And can these learnings, are they, so you get your learnings through the course of the year, you're planning for 2022, you've looked at all your pillars and you're charting the course, as it were. Are some of these learnings transferable? How do they relate to the next person? If we then take this back to the very beginning when you said we're social beings, you know, so are some of these learnings transferable?
Oh, definitely. Like, you know, when you're having these, like I said, this meaningful relationships, when people are discussing what they did, like a friend of mine, she said at the beginning of the year, I need to build my personal brand, and we're all looking at her. Good luck with that, and fantastic for you. Really great, you know. And everything she did in the year, because she said that to us at the beginning of the year now, so we're the fly on the wall looking at her life. Then November she says, I didn't really build my, I didn't do that. And I was like, all the speaking engagements, Auntie, you're on CNN, this one, that one. I said, how else do you, and then can you imagine, she didn't realize until someone told a third party, because sometimes you're so in your, I've got to do this, you can't see it, that you're actually achieving things. So sometimes you need a third party to say, girlfriend, pat yourself on the back, or boyfriend, pat yourself on the back, you've actually done a lot. Or even if you did it and it wasn't as successful, let's look at it. Okay, you wanted to do this thing, didn't quite hit the mark, what can we do? Who do we need to speak to? So that's how you get to look at, and how does it translate? Because if you didn't reach that goal, why didn't I reach that goal? Is this something that someone could have helped me with? Because we all think we have to do it all by ourselves, and that's a mistake. So is it that I'm not delegating enough? Is it that I have the wrong circle? Am I not networking? Am I not working my network enough? Am I not, is there some part of me that I need to develop? So those type of things, you have to just bring it together, because doing the same thing again in 2022 would be useless.
What they call, So to round up, again, being that this is January 1st, I'm not big on New Year's resolutions anymore. I'm big on learning and growing and continue that trajectory of growth. So what would you say to anybody watching now on how to simplify this process of growth, individually and collectively?
Simplifying the process of growth. Where are the gaps?
Where are the gaps? Okay.
Where are the gaps? Identify the gaps in your life. Sometimes it could be relationship gaps. It could be knowledge gaps. it could be just, are you sure you've got clarity of the purpose? And that sometimes we think we know that what God wants us to do. I'm sorry to be religious on TV, but
it's okay.
You know, it might be the wrong thing you think you've heard him say you need to do, and you're going along. Sometimes you need to just stop and just make sure, is this really the purpose? Because that's what, you know, the frustrations and what resources you need to achieve the purpose. Because we forget you need time, you need money, you need people, and you need that knowledge. And I think everybody should prioritize that. Growing is with acquiring knowledge. Even with this Instagram and social media we're doing, there's 5 a.m. Female hustlers, or the quotes that they send. Sometimes you're just looking at like, why did I think of that? So first thing in the morning, just make sure you're either doing your meditation. I've gotten big on that now. Just time of quiet to just there's so much noise out there. You've really just got to quiet everything down to just see what is my purpose? What do I need? What resources do I need to achieve it on all those pillars? And then try and figure out what you need to do to make positive steps. That would be what I'd say.
Thank you so much, Yewande. And I would recommend something for you in terms of your purpose. We need to write a book.
I'm there.
Yeah?
I'm there.
Femi has written his.
Oh, Femi has. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so.
Yes, sir.
Mummy,
yes,
you need to write a book
Mummy needs to write
about
a
the
book.
pillars and everything we've just talked about now. Let's just dumb it down and make it simpler for us all to actually be able to follow and not get bogged down. But thank you so much. This is a great start to 2022. I look forward to gaining more clarity on what my purpose is and trying to fill the gaps, work in purpose. So, so thank you so much. It really has been nice having you.
Thank you for having me on the first day of the year.
Yes! I told you ages ago that I'm going to have you on the show, but I need to pick the perfect time, so this was the perfect time. So thank you so much, Yewande. Really, really, really was a pleasure. So, 2022, first day, starting. Purpose, understanding your purpose, looking at the pillars in your life. You don't always have to have all the pillars because not everybody has family or children. Well, we all have family, but not everybody has a nuclear family where they have kids and all of that. So just understanding what your pillars are. Like Yewande said, looking at the gaps and how to fill those gaps and knowing that you cannot do it alone. You know, no man is an island. If we've learned anything else is that we need
Let the army roar!
You are good, you are kind, you are more than these. Lost for words, trying to describe you. Elohim, Elion, Ale Shelevi. The greatness is all I see. There is nothing you cannot do. There's no mountain you cannot move. If you have said it, then you will do it. 'Cause you have a track record of keeping your word, and you're not about to stop doing it now. All over Wambaye, you are mighty. All over Wambaye, you are mighty. Shebi walo shoro, shashora. Shebe yile shoro, shashora. All over Wambaye, you are mighty.
So you're welcome back, yes. And Pharaoh,
Yes,
awesome.
sir. I think
Awesome.
one of my New Year resolutions should be find another word apart
Find
from
another
awesome.
approval also for 2022. But that was really great. I really enjoyed that segment.
It was,
Thank you so
it was.
much. Thank you so much for that input.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. So your nuggets.
So we're
Do
going
we have
to our
anyone
nuggets.
first day?
Oh yes, I
in
do.
2022?
I do, and as we're preparing ourselves for another year, we have a long year ahead, and of course we're going to have a lot of speaking engagements. So my nugget for today is going to assist you as we go through the year. And it is, always ask yourself, are you speaking for you or for your audience? Always ask yourself, are you speaking for you or for your audience? A lot of times we go up there and we just speak for ourselves, forgetting the audience.
Yeah.
So first, like we always say, you need to know your audience, you need to know the purpose, know your purpose, right? And that way you will be able to decide or identify if what you are saying and how you are saying it and how you're communicating, is more for you,
Or for your audience.
better still, for your audience. So that's our nugget for today. Always ask yourself, are you speaking for you or for your audience?
And for me, this is very beneficial because we're not talking about the official, opportunity to speak to a large audience. Sometimes you have an interview engagement. Are you talking to you or you're making sense to the panel?
You have to know your
Even
audience.
in your home, yes, you have to do your homework. You have to find.
You cannot be
plan.
talking to.
Okay, and I'm thinking about maybe I should pick up the so.
I'm trying to drop that.
So today has really been impactful for
It has.
me.
It has.
First day of the new year.
Yeah.
So many takeaways.
Yeah.
So many.
Okay.
So many.
So that will be it for now. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Yeah. So from all of us here in the studios, have a lovely year ahead.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Bye
Happy New Year!
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to beg for validation. But the fire that burned in me was hotter, and the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I would fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Whether you like it or not, the dryness and dust is coming. And this time, it might not give up that easily. But do the people have the power to shake it off?
Well, of course they do, and you do too. Kick dry skin to the curb and get smooth, intensely nourished skin with Nivea's deep moisture lotions and lip balm. Follow the story online, #DoneWithDryness.
Ho, ho, ho. Aha. No. Aha. Well done.
Have a Merry Picmas!
I miss them.
Well, they should be on their way by now.
Will it feel like it used to? With everyone so busy these days.
It will be fine.
Suddenly, feels like I'm gonna fall. I can see all of my dreams so perfectly.
Oh, yeah, line up! Single file!
Love's not a dream at all. Somebody
Grandpa,
can
what was Grandma like?
She always found ways to bring us all together. It took me a while to discover how she does it.
Devon King's taste that brings us all together.
Hello and welcome. It's Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Nimasa This Week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Statutorily mandated to ensure that there is regulation and promotion of matters affecting our waters. NIMASA bears responsibility for search and rescue, shipping development, and ship registration.
NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on this channel.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, have you?
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. we go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
When you actually buy your land and you want to build, it's more expensive than when you buy into a property that is being developed for affordable housing. You buy the house plot for 4 million, you will clear the land, you will pay the money fees.
If it's all been trending in the entertainment industry, then we'll definitely be talking about it.
We bring you the funny, controversial, and hottest topics making waves in the entertainment scene worldwide.
We also interview all your favorite celebrities and keep you locked down with fun segments and live performances. Tea Time, showing every weekday at 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and of course the repeat at 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Aroo.